Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to get into Chris Martin and his emotional reaction to Jungkook's music and Jungkook's vocals specifically. I think this is so great and I loved hearing about this, and of course I'm here to share it with you. I also want to get into the My Universe dance break and choreography. Let's talk about that. So grab your tumbler, a tea spilling mug merch, and let's jump into the tea. If you're new here and you're interested in this type of stuff, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and then notification bell to be notified anytime a new video drops. Any of you are a hater, I'd like to be first to leave your hate comment. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button and then notification bell also, and you'll be first to do so. Now let's jump into it. The first thing I want to get into today is what happened with BTS and Coldplay during the recording of the song My Universe. I do need to give some backstory here, so hang tight. BTS just a few hours ago released their amazing documentary called Inside My Universe. This is the documentary that shows Coldplay and BTS together and what happened with the recording process and the behind the scenes of that. I think this was Chris's idea to fly to Korea to record the song with them. Chris definitely did not have to do that, but he felt like the song was about people coming together. He felt like they needed to be together to make the song more impactful. And likely because this was such a unique collaboration, i.e. 11 people, it was going to be a unique way to figure out how to make this work. So maybe this was another reason why Chris wanted to be over there to almost make sure the track ends up being absolutely perfect. I think it's so important to see, and it really further makes the finished song be much more meaningful, knowing the effort that went into it and really seeing the talent. I think people are aware that people can sing. You can probably find someone on the street that has a decent voice. But what most people can't do is to listen to someone sing and be like, that is the best take, or listen and be like, this could be better, and then re-recording it a different way and it sounds way better. Meanwhile, I would have heard the first one and be like, no, this sounds good, and not know that it could be better, or not even know how to instruct someone to give their best performance. This was in the documentary that was released, and you can see Chris Martin's talent being able to listen to each member sing and instruct them on to give the best lines. One thing that appeared I got wrong was I don't think each member sang the entire track first and then it was cut up. This is how BTS mentioned how they normally record their songs. They all sing the entirety of the track and the producer cut up the best part. And then the producers cut up the best parts. But that seems to be a very unique way of recording, and in this moment, Chris being there, they probably recorded the song how Chris would do it, and Chris likely sat there and listened to BTS discography and picked who he thought had the best voice for each part. You can definitely tell Chris has been doing this for a very long time, as just his professionalism is unmatched. How comfortable he is in that studio and just how normal he feels about everything. I mean, he has been doing this for almost 25 years. In the beginning of the documentary, Chris said, okay, let's get this done by 6. And I understand what he meant by that. Usually artists will literally not have a schedule and they will literally work until sundown. I've had conversations with people who own businesses, or I've been doing YouTube for many years. They always tell me that you need to divide and choose to close the computer and end work at a certain time, or you'll find yourself constantly working because there's always something to do. And 6 p.m. is usually the best because the rest of the world would be ending there too, and it's a sense of enormous jobs in entertainment like singing have this idea where artists will work for days on end without sleeping. Chris has been doing this for so long, he's likely over that and would rather everything be done by 6 to go back to his hotel and FaceTime his kids. And to me, that just shows how long he has been doing this. Cookie spoke about this too and talked about how he admired Chris so much. He loved Chris's music as a kid and even had a moment where he seemed a little starstruck. Cookie talked about how if someone had told him when he debuted that there would be Chris Martin instructing him on how to sing, he would be scared that he would mess up. When it was Cookie's turn to sing, Chris heard Jungkook sing and was so shocked by how perfect it was. And Cookie's voice is very clear and soft yet strong at the same time. It's really pretty, and I think Chris was just blown away at how nice Cookie's voice is. Chris told the producer to translate and tell Cookie that he is so impressive. And it does take another singer to really be able to hyperanalyze another person's voice to be like, wow, he sounds so good. And I don't know if they cut it out, and it definitely seemed like each member did it pretty much 1 or 2 takes and nailed their parts. And this is much harder than you would think. You think, oh, if you sing, you just go in the sound booth and do it. But it needs to match up, not necessarily with the beat perfectly, because even if you're half a beat off, the producer can usually fix it, but they would prefer you not be. But you will always be slightly off because by the time you hear the beat, then you sing, you're already late. So the producers fix that. But being off would not be getting the melody perfectly or singing singing this particular note off. And the part Cookie sang is not easy. The pre-chorus is hard to sing. It's very high, but he seemed to nail it immediately. The only other singer I know that does this is Miley Cyrus. Apparently from other people and like interviews about her, they'll say she nails it immediately in the studio and when she is on set. It's like one take and they're done. But Miley has grown up in a very artistic family and all her family members are famous. And it probably came more naturally to her, whereas BTS has been very open about them needing to work hard to develop their talents. And they got it to the point where they can just go in and kill it. It's really beautiful. I love this so much. Obviously, BTS and Coldplay will still have to wait a long time before they can go and perform this song and perform together on stage. There was definitely this thought that also seemed to cross Coldplay's mind, which was how would this look like live? Do they jump around and sing, sit there? And this was a concern Chris brought up in the beginning of the documentary, where he talked about people telling him that BTS wanted to work with Coldplay. But Chris was like, no, how would this even work? Which shows me that he doesn't care about the clout as much as he cares about making the art, which makes me so happy. But in order to honor BTS and make it a more BTS friendly performance song, Chris added a dance break at the end. And that said, one day if they get to perform this live and perform it in front of a crowd, they can all dance together. And I'm like, wait, hold your horses. Keep them at the stable. Is Chris going to dance, like dancing and doing BTS choreography? I was not expecting any possible dancing to come out of this song. I was like, if there's a little two-step, it would be cute, but nothing like a full segment where they're dancing. And definitely did not think it would be anything with Chris dancing. But he kind of confirmed that there is this possibility, and I think that is so nice. I would really like to see it. This song has definitely broken down a lot of barriers so far, and definitely a lot of firsts for Chris. I assume he has never sung in Korean. He has been singing the Korean verses live. He did it on the Kelly Clarkson show, and I was so surprised. I thought he was going to do the English version of it, but he did the Korean lyrics. And his pronunciation is not perfect, but I mean better than mine. And the fact that he is trying is beautiful. And to be honest, it makes the most sense to perform it in the original Korean way because words sound different and the words can change how the song sounds because of the pronunciation of certain vowels in words. Does that make sense? So if you have a lot of songs with a lot of O words, it will sound more like opera because your mouth is open. Anyway, he didn't want to change the original sound. He kept the Korean. I loved that. It also normalizes having the language on American TV, and it seems like a lot of new shows are happy to embrace this inclusivity and new culture, which is what I think the direction of new media is becoming. I think people are tired of seeing the same culture and want to see something a little different. I think they or we want to learn something new. I think we want to see something new and acknowledge that there's other people that exist, and also want to see those people on TV talking about their culture. Chris Martin singing Korean obviously doesn't do all that, but it's a start, and I like that a lot. I definitely want to thank him for not only giving BTS a chance, but for giving Korean culture a larger platform that wouldn't normally listen to this stuff, and now maybe this song would pique their interest. Maybe they'll say, BTS's voice is really good. I really actually like the Korean part. Decide to give a full Korean song with no English a bit of a chance. And that is how this stuff works and how inclusivity happens. And hopefully in 10 or 20 years, we'll have all sorts of different languages on the radio and people's phones. It will be beautiful. Everyone will just love every culture, and there would be so much more acceptance. And if you listen to Korean music and are a fan, you are probably not bullying that Korean kid in class because he's Korean. So this is a start to a less racist world. And as Chris said, this was kind of what my universe was all about: inclusivity and representation of something new. And this will be our new universe. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it down in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm featuring this comment right here. Thank you so much for leaving comments. With that said, I do have a Patreon if you want to go over there and check that out. I have a lot of videos over there that I can't really post on here. This is due to copyright or getting taken down, so I do keep it over there on my Patreon. You can get videos over there like music video reactions, performance reactions, ship reactions. You can also recommend things you would like to see over there. Currently, we have over 400 videos that are already up on there, and we do have a great time interacting and having fun with each other over there as well. So if you're interested in being a part of that, make sure you go to the top of the description down below, and there should be a link there. There is also a video over there that kind of goes over how you can support the channel even more if you would like to do that. That is on the front page, and it's free to watch. With that said, there's 2 videos that will appear up on the screen at the end of this video, so click on one of those and I'll see you over there. Bye.